As you guys know, I am a PhD student. So during my PhD, I was able to publish 15 papers in peer-reviewed scientific journals, a lot more than the average PhD student. So how was I able to stay so productive, but also enjoy my time during my PhD? In this video, I'll give you the 5 simple rules which I use to be more productive and which you can use too to apply to your daily life in order to be more productive and have a happier life. Rule number 1 is to come in every single day. The simple act of physically coming into the office or the labs is so simple yet so powerful. When you create a routine of physically moving into a new location for work, you can compartmentalize your rest and being productive, and then the overlap between the two shortens. This means that you can find yourself procrastinating a whole lot less in the office or dedicated workspace, meaning that work is supposed to get done in a specific area. Also, many PhD students like to take days off as the work can be quite flexible. However, I believe that this reduces productivity as you have less days to spend for those days when productivity will be naturally low. Yes, I've said it. There are often days when you are so unproductive that you can barely manage to type 3 consecutive words. But when you come in more often, those unproductive days have less of an effect on your bottom line. Coming in every day also allows you more time to enjoy the process of being a PhD student. The frustrations of things not going right allows you to appreciate the fact that good and worthwhile things just do not happen overnight. Being consistent in your endeavors to apply yourself goes a long way. Even the days when you are not being so productive adds up to the mistakes you make, and you can learn a lot from days that you did little than days you did nothing. Rule number 2 is have good computer tools. They say an artist is only as good as the tools they use. I believe this fact to ring true with so much of today's productivity. People are so inefficient with their use of technology, which is ironic because technology was literally created to make life easier. I make sure that the hardware I use is up to scratch, and if it isn't, I think it's definitely worthwhile to invest in. The first thing I did at the beginning of my PhD was to build a computer that had a fast hard drive, because every extra second waiting around for an app to open or switching tasks adds up dramatically throughout the day. The next main thing was getting the right display. A high resolution is a must. This is because with one single monitor you can work with up to 4 different things at any given time. A typical monitor has about 2 million pixels, but mine has 8 million. This is why I highly recommend switching to a higher resolution monitor. The last hardware additions I used to increase my productivity is a mechanical keyboard which allows you to type faster and more accurately, and a gaming mouse with macro keys. Now, I don't game at all, but having a mouse with many programmable keys allows me to have many shortcuts at my fingertips, allowing me to do tasks such as copy, paste, and delete in a heartbeat. In terms of software, I am a basic user, but by also leveraging good software, this can increase your productivity by many times. For example, instead of manually creating references, I use a software called EndNote, which automatically applies the references in text and also the bibliography. This saves me hours per week when you have hundreds of references that are constantly changing. Rule number 3, work on multiple projects at once. A great way of being more productive is by working on multiple projects simultaneously. This may sound like a no-brainer because working on additional tasks leads to more productivity, but you have to remember that people can't multitask. Instead, we can do task switching, which involves us working on a single task but changing these tasks strategically. Humans get bored quickly, and our productivity quickly diminishes when we attempt large projects where the end doesn't seem to be arriving. So when you are bored, all you have to do is to switch to another completely unrelated project, which will then benefit from a fresh wave of productivity. For example, during my PhD, I worked on projects relating to creating fibers for different applications such as for wound healing, filtration, and drug delivery. When one project seemed to be getting too much, I would switch to another, and it would feel like I'm moving away from my unproductive rut. This is also a great strategy whenever you work on big projects where more than one person is involved. Oftentimes you have completed all that you can have completed, and it is up to someone else to add their contributions. If you wait around doing nothing, you risk wasting lots of time, and this dead time can lead to a lack of motivation and ultimately reduce your productivity going forward. Rule number 4 is say yes to socializing. Now, this may seem counterproductive, pun intended, but saying yes to socializing after a long day's work can actually lead you to be more productive in the following days and weeks. By breaking up your long day, doing something you enjoy and interacting with people outside of your discipline, you can get that necessary contrast that all things do not revolve around your PhD or your work, and there are other things that actually matter too. I remember that there were many events in the evenings which many PhD students missed because they were too busy. However, I tried to go to as many as possible and it really helped me. This is because it almost acts as a reward mechanism for getting through the day and provides the change in atmosphere which is actually required to shift your mind from the day's work. Social contact is also proven to be an integral part of life. No matter how independent and hardworking we are, we always need some form of social validation, and if we lock ourselves up and keep working, it will eventually lead to burnout and even depression. Speaking about the problems you are facing with a friend or even a random stranger can help reduce the effect of your mental burdens and sharpen your mind, so that you can focus on being more productive with your time when you are working. Rule number 5 is have a single goal that you optimize for. One thing that really helped me stay productive during my PhD was to optimize for a single goal and a single goal only. I am not a huge goal setter and I hate making plans, so a single loose plan helps me orientate my compass and focus on achieving the most important things. For example, during my PhD, my ultimate goal was to maximize the amount of publications I had during this time period. This is because I knew the more publications I had, the more projects I would have been working on, the more collaborators I would have interacted with, and the more content I would have for my thesis. Therefore, by maximizing just one single overarching goal, all other goals and objectives fall into place as a byproduct, and you do not have to worry about the small stuff. For you, this ultimate goal can be different. It means to an end of sorts. For example, you could want to improve your relationships with people in your workplace. In order to achieve this, you must change and adapt your personality to be more responsive to those around you, and in turn, you become an overall better rounded person who is able to maintain healthy relationships both at work and in your personal life. This will see drastic improvements in your overall well-being and happiness, and as a result, your productivity will increase because now your motivations come from a different source, a regularly replenished well of happiness and prosperity. So guys, that's the end of the video, and I really hope this video has given you an insight in how to be more productive whilst also enjoying everything life has to offer and really enjoying the journey. If you like this video, comment down below and let me know if this has helped you, and subscribe if you're new, and as always, thank you for watching.